Of greed the holy books condemn, but man's new religion surely does pretend to war and strife and a bitter end. So come all you who would die in sin, and drink the last from that bottle of gin.
Regaram com todas as águas do pranto, que longo, que todos tiveram de tombar.
This is CSN, your cultural news show from Oakland, California. Good evening, I'm Ian Moore. In today's show, we celebrate creativity. RasD does a song called Education is the Key. We have a music video from India. And in Face the Funk, Mitch Altman talks about TV Begun. John Hegley from the UK gives us a poem, Poème de Terre, and George Aguilar gives us a cine poem called Uncommon Ghosts. So, sit back, stay conscious, and enjoy the show.
Yeah man, RasD, tune into Culture Shock News. Mr. Ian Moore, blessings every time man, because he's a man always do the good things and I bring out talent in the people and make people know say, hey, they don't waste no time because time is valuable and precious. So, the youths them for know this and for stay in school because RasD have the new thing, you know, education is the key. You know what I say? So check this out. Education not the way, listen and obey, follow RasD, me say you no go astray. Education not the key, stay drugs free. Youths, this is reality. Education not the way, listen and obey, follow RasD, me say you no go astray. Education not the key, stay drugs free. Youths, this is reality. As a toddler growing up, you're going to be a man. Know yourself, who you are, and where you're coming from. Go to school and get some education. All you wed up and you must have ambition. Hear what your goal and set up a plan. Don't better get caught up and me say in any gang. I go end up in a politics fiction. Jump out of fire, jump in a frying pan. But yes, some men know say man you would have double wrong. Say if you get caught up, me say with the Babylon. Education not the way, listen and obey. Follow RasD, me say you no go astray. Education not the key, stay drugs free. Youths, this is reality. Hey, go on to school, go on to school, go on to school, cause education rule. Go on to school, go on to school, go on to school, no make them ride you like mule. Go on to school, go on to school, go on to school, cause education rule. With your education you can be a star, a doctor, a pilot, or an ambassador, the president or the next prime minister. Youths, nobody be no time waster. I drop out a fool, me say a gazer, cause a little more that's when you feel it later. When you can't get a job to earn a dollar, then that's when me know you a go turn hustler. That's open up praise and open get the answer. Education not the way, listen and obey. Follow RasD, me say you not go astray. Education not the key, stay drugs free. Youths, this is reality. Knowledge, oh yes, it set you free. It make you be smart and act consciously. But first, yes, you have to get the degree. Then wealth, happiness and prosperity. Then contribute to give back up to society. Don't forget to thank the mom and daddy, and them stand out for responsibility. Let's open up the ears and hope you listen, RasD. Education not the way, listen and obey. Follow RasD, me say you no go astray. Education not the key, stay drugs free. Youths, this is reality. Education not the way, listen and obey. Follow RasD, me say you no go astray. Education not the key, stay drugs free. Youths, this is reality. The pen, the paper, your brains are the tool. It no matter what age you feel go on back to school. The God that make them take your finna teen fool and climb up on your back and walk and ride you like mule. This is RasD and everything it done cool. Education not the way, listen and obey. Follow RasD, me say you not go astray. Education not the key, stay drugs free. Youths, cha, reality. Yeah man, a culture shock news and a RasD, you know, one people must say big up. Don't forget to check out the website, rasdmusic.com. Log on.
And now, this.
मेरी रानी जब मैंने तुझे मेरी सोई सोई धड़कन गाने लगी खुद को मैं भुलाने लगा तुझे सांसों में बसाने लगा दिल से दिल मिल गया मुझसे उलझी है काली काली लट तेरी जरा इन जुल्फों को सुलझाने तो दे
इतनी भी चाहे जल्दी तुझे खड़ी अपने मिलन की तू आने तो दे
ऐसे ना बहाने बना मेरी रानी अब तो बाहों में आ
ऐसे रानी मेरा कोई देखेगा तो सोचेगा क्या
मस्ती छाई है मस्ती आके लग लगती है बार बार
धक धक करने लगा हमारा दिल डरने लगा
दिल से दिल मिल गया मुझसे कैसी ये है
And now, this.
Today on Face the Funk, I have Mitch Altman, CEO and CTO of Cornfield Electronics. Thank you for joining us, Mitch.
Hey, you're welcome. I'm glad I'm here.
Mitch, you're an inventor and CEO of your own company.
Yeah.
Tell us, what are some of the things you've invented?
Well, I've been a geek all my life. So ever since a little kid, I would put together things, and my parents sort of gave me free reign of the basement, and I almost killed myself only a couple of times. But my parents were very supportive, and through the years, I became a consultant in electronics. So I've invented a bunch of things for other companies. This is really the second time that I've invented something just because I love it. The other time was this little thing where it was a toy, and when it's got blinking lights and you wave it around and it makes pictures and words that sort of hang in the air. That never really went anywhere, but it was fun.
Wow. Mitch, now because of this latest invention of yours, you've been on CBS, you've been on Fox News TV, that's really big stuff. Associated Press, and also I think All Things Considered. So tell us about that invention.
Well, this is TV Be Gone, and it's a keychain. I actually always carry one with me because you never know when you'll need one, unfortunately. This is a prototype of the next version. I like it in purple. The current ones are in black. It's got one button. When you push this button, point it at a TV, the TV in front of you will turn off. And it'll work for any TV. And the reason I came up with this is because I don't like TV. And
I knew there was a reason. I knew that, and I was going to ask you that. Okay, so tell me about that.
yeah, so here we are on TV. Not all TV is horrible, but TV in general, like even people who love TV, who wants to be out in public and have salespeople sell them stuff? Okay, so like 12 years ago, I was sitting in a restaurant. I was with some friends, and we hadn't seen each other in a long time. And there was a TV on in the corner. But we were there for each other, but the TV kept pulling our attention away. And we kept looking at it instead of paying attention to each other. What's this about? So we started talking about that, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I could just make something that would make those go away? And of course I did. It took 10 years to actually start making it. And then 2 years to make it into a reality. And on my first day of sales, thanks to one article on Wired.com, it was a torrential flood of interest from the media and
That
for
was
people.
just last year, right?
Yeah, it's just slightly more than 6 months ago.
That's incredible. So there are some people that would say, Mitch, that this TV Be Gone idea is really just a radical liberal invention to try to shut up the mainstream media and the network programming of people. What do you say about that?
Well, that's not my intent. In fact, the people who want this are across political spectrums. I have a lot of interest from the Christian far right.
That makes
and
sense.
in an abstract way, they think about TV the same way I do. Quite often there are things on TV that they find offensive. And that's certainly the case for, I think, anybody. Even though there are things that anyone might like on TV, there are certainly things that anyone would agree is awful. Maybe everyone doesn't agree on what those awful things are. But it's not something I want to be distracted with in public.
Well, that's another idea, that conservatives may look at this as a tool to hush up those liberal, radical people with all of this madness that's poisoning our society.
Yeah, like this crazy show.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, this really isn't a censorship.
This is culture and balance.
Indeed. And much more so than many other shows. But the thing is, this really isn't a censorship tool. It's more of a personal protection device. So anywhere I go, I only turn off TVs that no one is watching. And quite often out in public, there are TVs that are on that no one's watching.
They're just making noise.
They're making noise, and they're making terrible noise. Like personally, I don't want to see any of our fearless leaders yammering away off in the corners. So most people in this area tend to agree. But regardless, there's so often times when there's a TV on and no one wants it on, and there's no way to turn it off. Now there is.
So tell me, with TV Be Gone, what do you think the message is?
My main message in getting this out was to have a fun way to say turning a TV on or off is a choice. And that message has gotten out there thanks to all the media, including TV, radio, newspapers, magazines. I mean, I've been in places that I only fantasized about, and it's been all over the world, and that message has gotten out. People are actually talking about TV for the first time probably since the 50s when it became popular. And it's all because of this little idea I had, and that's just, I'm thrilled.
Wow. So how does this affect people, or if other televisions, they say, well, this doesn't belong to that person. So what gives you the right to cross the boundaries, to turn off this television?
Yeah, well, it's an interesting question, because if there's a TV on and it's annoying some people, whose rights are being violated? You know, with secondhand smoke, the law has come down on the side of the non-smoker. With TV, unwanted media, there's no laws, so we have to work that out for ourselves. So, like I said, I never turn off a TV that people are actually watching. If I have turned off a TV, there's been a few times when it turns out someone really did want to see it, and I just turn it back on.
Well, here's an idea. How about creating a nonprofit for the people to save the ecology of people and ears and minds, and call it the Alliance of Non-Television Watchers?
Yeah, well, there are definitely a lot of groups of people to promote more life through less TV. There's White Dot, there's TV Turnoff Network, there's Adbusters, there's SET, the Society for the Eradication of Television.
Wow, they must love you.
Oh, they do, and they all sought me out, and I sought some of them out too. But there's a lot of people, evidently, that really do want to turn TVs off, because in the 6 months I've been selling this, I've sold approaching 50,000 of these things.
Wow. So I would think bookstores should be really interested in carrying your product.
Yeah, in fact, on our packaging, one of the ways we get the message across is there's an angry TV, kind of a cartoon, and then there's this 50s housewife, a retro look, and she gets the idea, I can turn it off, and then she's doing something useful, and it says, book, she's reading a book. So I would like to get them in like used bookstores. I think it's a natural. I just haven't had time to even go out to try to sell them, because so many people have been coming to me.
Wow, the sales is selling itself.
Yeah, it's really amazing. And so just answering emails and answering phone calls and answering letters and keeping up with production to meet demand, it's been really amazing. This little personal project grew into this huge thing out of control.
How has it changed your life? I mean, with this is drawing so much attention to you.
Yeah, it's become my life, and it's a good thing I love it, otherwise it would drive me nuts. But that's really the thing. About 2 years ago, I made a very conscious decision to do less of what I only like, because I didn't have enough time to do all of it, and make room for exploring what I really love. And this project was one of the things. Volunteering for very many different things is another set of things I loved. And I knew somehow it would all work out, and I didn't know how. And it turned out to this little project, which was one of my main loves, grew to be my life. And here I am finally able to make a living doing what I love. I mean, how many people get to do that?
You're absolutely right about that. Have you been able to get this abroad or in international markets at all?
Yeah, and it's not even me getting it there. They've, again, come to me. So I was just in Europe. I set up a European tour, so I was in France and England and Amsterdam and in Germany. And it's been amazing. I've been on German television. I've been on the BBC 12
They love
times.
inventions, especially Germany. So tell me, where can we pick up TV Be Gone, our viewers?
TV Be Gone is available in a bunch of places. It's available on our website.
And what's your website?
tvbegone.com.
Okay.
It's also on target.com. It's also available in Wildcard, a little store in San Francisco in the Castro.
Okay.
And Amazon just bought some.
Oh, okay.
And amazingly enough, if you do a search on Google, you get almost 250,000 websites talking about it, and many of them sell TV Be Gone remotes too.
Oh, that is great. That's
Yeah.
fabulous. Well, thank you so much, Mitch,
You're
for
very welcome.
joining us on Face the Funk and sharing us your wonderful, wonderful gadget. It's amazing.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And now, this.
S, seldom buried with their glasses. P, pebbles that are edible. U, underground and roundish and larger than the reddish radish. They are found in rows, but not like those in the cinema. D, Doug, not dog. S, severely disappointing as pets. But you don't have to legislate against pit bull potatoes. I'm not a normal person, whatever that may be. There is something very, very vegetable about me. This human skin I'm skulking in, it's only there for show. I'm a potato. When I told my father, it was something of a blow. He called me a dirty so-and-so. He kicked up quite a racket and he grabbed me by the jacket. I said, Daddy, will you pack it in? Won't you help me grow? Won't you be my father, not my foe? Won't you love me for my blemishes and look me in the eye before one of us is underground and the other says goodbye? And he said no. When I was a schoolboy, I never knew why I was so crap at cross-country running. But now I know why I was so slow. I'm a potato. Voyez, voyez la pomme de terre. C'est le légume que je préfère. Ce n'est pas une carotte ou un haricot vert. Non. L'existence sans la pomme de terre est comme le poisson sans la mer. C'est la joie pour moi, la pomme de terre. Pour lui aussi, l'homme derrière.
I'm going to read from my book called Great Black Innovators and the Problem-Solving Program. And in here we have a formula for creativity, which I'd like to share with you. Besides the exhortation to hard work, other specifics may help to stimulate one's creative capacities. To begin with, a simple awareness of the different phases of the creative process is important. Number one, preparation. It is essential to obtain every possible scrap of knowledge concerning the specific problem that you can have. Edison, one of the most prolific inventors of the world has ever seen, generally avoided scientists, but made it a rule to gain access to every bit of scientific information he possibly could. Whenever he moved into a field with which he was unfamiliar, he first collected all the published material on the subject that he could and then digested it in an orgy of reading. Number two, concentration. One way of getting started on being creative is to sit down with the intention of being creative. At first, there may be no discernible results, but each step is a necessary precursor to those which follow. One way or another, one must get to thinking long and hard about possible solutions to the given problem, and developing as many promising leads as possible. Concentration is the hardest part of being creative, but it is also the most characteristic. Number 3, incubation, is defined as a temporary withdrawal from the conscious mind from the problem while the subconscious continues to work on it. Some psychologists question the necessity for an incubation period. However, it is probably no accident that the term to sleep on it has become common in our language. And number 4, inspiration. As previously described, inspiration is the sudden appearance of new insight, accompanied by exhilaration and elation. However, elation can also be accompanied by feelings of certainty, which are not always valid. And last but not least, number 5, verification. This final period requires steady nerves and enormous determination as one proves out an idea, both to stave off despair as obstacles are encountered and to prevent oversights that might result from too much mental intoxication carrying over from the phase 4, inspiration. So, now you have the tools, be inventive and go and make the world a better place to live in. Good luck. This is Ian Moore for CSN. Until next time, stay well and be good to yourselves.
Eldorado negro no Brasil. Existe como um clarão que o sol da liberdade produziu. Refletiu a luz da divindade, o fogo santo de Olorum. Reviveu a utopia, um por todos e todos por um. Quilombo que todos fizeram com todos os santos zelando. Quilombo que todos regaram com todas as águas do pranto. Quilombo que todos tiveram de tombar amando e lutando. Quilombo todos nós ainda hoje desejamos tanto. Existe um Eldorado negro no Brasil.